Before we start our video today, I want to ask you something. Do you find yourself hitting snooze, promising to wake up earlier tomorrow, or skipping workouts, thinking you'll make up for it next week? Maybe you avoid starting tasks, believing there's plenty of time later. Perhaps you tell yourself it's because you're just too busy, or you need to find the perfect moment. But what if these actions are driven by automatic habits rather than conscious choices? In truth, it's the small habits and cues in your environment that dictate these behaviors, often without you realizing it. That's why today, we're decoding Atomic Habits by James Clear. We'll explore how to identify and reshape those tiny habits for lasting change, guided by insights from the author himself. Clear's central idea is deceptively simple. Improving by just 1% every day leads to massive gains over time. Imagine getting 1% better daily for a year. You'd be nearly 37 times better by the end. Conversely, slipping 1% worse daily can erode your abilities almost completely. This is the power of compounding applied to habits. To illustrate, consider the British cycling team that was once mediocre but transformed into world champions. Their coach, Dave Brailsford, implemented a strategy called the aggregation of marginal gains, focusing on tiny improvements in every aspect, from optimizing bike aerodynamics to adjusting nutrition. Each small change might seem insignificant alone, but together they propelled the team to record-breaking success. Clear emphasizes that habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Just as money multiplies through compound interest, the effects of your habits multiply as you repeat them across days, months, and years. Even small habits can have a significant impact when compounded over time. To understand how habits form, Clear breaks them down into a 4-step loop: cue, craving, response, and reward. The cue is the trigger that initiates the habit. It could be a time of day, an emotional state, or a location. For example, seeing your running shoes by the door can cue you to go for a jog. The craving is the motivational force, the desire for the reward that the habit promises. It's not the habit itself, but the anticipation of the benefit, like the feeling of accomplishment after exercise. A real-life example is craving the refreshing feeling after a shower, which motivates you to clean up post-workout. The response is the actual behavior or action you take, such as putting on your shoes and running. It's the visible aspect of your actions. The reward is the positive outcome that reinforces the habit loop, making it more likely to repeat. This could be the endorphin rush or a sense of pride, similar to the reward of finishing a difficult puzzle, providing a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction. By mastering this loop, you can design habits that stick and break those that don't serve you. Clear distills habit formation into 4 practical laws, rules to build good habits and break bad ones. Let's explore each. Law 1. Make it obvious. Your environment shapes your behavior more than you realize. To build a habit, make the cues obvious. For example, if you want to drink more water, place a water bottle where you can see it. If you want to read more, keep a book on your pillow. Clear also recommends habit stacking, linking a new habit to an existing one. After you brush your teeth, meditate for 1 minute. The existing habit becomes a cue for the new one. Consider the story of a man who wanted to floss daily. He placed floss right next to his toothbrush, making the cue obvious. This simple environmental tweak helped him build a lasting habit. In the business world, Steve Jobs famously wore the same outfit every day to minimize decision fatigue, keeping his cue to dress simple and his focus sharp for more important tasks. Law 2. Make it attractive. Habits are easier to adopt when they're appealing. You can increase a habit's attractiveness by pairing it with something you enjoy, a technique called temptation bundling. For instance, only listen to your favorite podcast while exercising. The anticipation of the enjoyable activity motivates you to perform the habit. Another example is the story of a woman who wanted to start running but disliked it. She paired running with listening to audiobooks she loved, making the habit more attractive and sustainable. In another example, a company implemented gamification to encourage employees to submit monthly reports by awarding points for timely submissions, leading to increased compliance due to the added thrill. Law 3. Make it easy. Reduce friction to make habits effortless. Start with tiny versions of the habit. Clear calls this the 2-minute rule. Want to start running? Begin by putting on your running shoes and stepping outside for just 2 minutes. This lowers the barrier to starting and builds consistency. A famous example is the author himself, who started writing by committing to just 2 minutes a day. This small start eventually grew into a daily writing habit that produced his best-selling book. Similarly, a man who wanted to improve his fitness simply committed to change into workout clothes each day after work, which invariably led to him choosing to exercise because he was already dressed for it. Law 4. Make it satisfying. Immediate rewards reinforce habits. Use habit trackers or checklists to visually mark your progress. The satisfaction of checking a box triggers dopamine, encouraging repetition. Celebrate small wins to keep motivation high. For example, a man trying to quit smoking used a jar to collect money saved from not buying cigarettes. Seeing the jar fill up gave him a satisfying visual reward that reinforced his new habit. This visual feedback turned an abstract goal into something tangible and rewarding. Similarly, people often use fitness apps that provide immediate updates and badges for achieving milestones, making the process of exercise more engaging and rewarding. Perhaps the most profound insight in Atomic Habits is the focus on identity. Instead of setting goals like, I want to run a marathon, shift your focus to, I want to become a runner. Your habits shape your identity, and your identity shapes your habits. When you see yourself as the type of person who embodies certain habits, your actions align naturally. This identity-based approach creates lasting change because it's about who you are, not just what you do. Clear shares the story of a man who wanted to quit smoking. Instead of focusing on the goal, quit smoking, he focused on becoming a non-smoker. This shift in identity made it easier to reject cigarettes because it was no longer just a goal, but a reflection of who he was. Think of identity as the roots and habits as the leaves. The stronger and healthier your identity, the more sustainable your habits become. By embodying the identity of a healthy eater, for example, your choices reflect that identity. Clear warns against relying solely on motivation, which fluctuates. Instead, design your environment to support your habits. Remove distractions, automate cues, and make bad habits difficult. For example, if you want to reduce screen time, keep your phone in another room during work hours. Remember, habits are easier to maintain when your surroundings do the heavy lifting. Additionally, if you find it hard to resist eating unhealthy snacks, make them hard to reach or unavailable altogether. Re-engineering your environment so your default choices align with your desired habits is crucial. He also emphasizes the importance of making bad habits invisible and hard to do. For instance, if you want to eat less junk food, don't keep it in your house. By making positive choices easier and negative ones more difficult, you reduce the chances of falling back into old patterns. Clear encourages using habit tracking as a powerful tool. Tracking your habits creates a visual cue that motivates you to maintain consistency. The simple act of marking an X on a calendar can create a chain of success that you don't want to break. One impressive example of this technique is the famous "don't break the chain" strategy used by comedian Jerry Seinfeld, who tracked his daily writing on a calendar, motivating him to keep his streak going. He also discusses the importance of reflection and review. Periodically reviewing your habits helps you adjust and improve your system, ensuring continuous growth. It's like checking the alignment of a car. Regular reviews ensure you're still on the right path to your destination. Success is not a single moment, but the sum of your daily habits. Start small, be patient, and focus on becoming the person you want to be. If you commit to tiny improvements every day, your life will change in ways you never imagined. Thank you for watching. If this summary inspired you, please like, subscribe, and share to help others build better habits. See you next time.